Hello and welcome to Smoky 957 Gaming and episode 10 of my Enclave Reformers playthrough. Some things I have done before we get started is didn't take any major decisions, but I did decide to train some more Canadians. Research is as is. Construction I've not touched. Production I've increased all my military factories to times 10 because I now have 813, and I'm using my 191 to create a rather large navy. I am short of resources now, so we'll have to take care of that, hopefully by coring as soon as possible. And then my recruitment I haven't changed either. One thing I have done is I noticed while I was rewatching episode 9 is Second Army was just taking too long to get down to take out this part of Mexico enemy, so I have pulled them back and they will now be protecting the border against the 80s, and I've set them up also in preparation of taking out New Vegas once I have finished this war. What is this war called again? The Legionary Aggression for, I guess, me. We obviously, you can see, winning quite nicely, 10-1, and they are 46% towards capitulation. So I think that's all. So let me just take one focus. I want to push down towards getting sophisticated air tech. So I'm going to start with open for business. Okay, motorized deployment is finished, so I'm going to carry on with armored assault. And I have even more factories, and let's see what I'm running short of. Demolition equipment and fighting equipment. Okay, so let's put first onto there and there. Okay, that's my rotary engine bomber completed. Let me do some fuel injection and I will speed it up since I don't have anything else to spend my Navy experience on. Let's just update this to rotary engine bomber. Okay, initial focus completed. One of my subscriber Mia has requested that I read these, so here we go. Open for business. With the stroke of a pen, the President has decreed the resurrection of pre-war businesses. Moving to merge pre-war with post-war, companies like Westech and Robco will stand once more alongside entities such as Crimson Caravan and the Gunrunners. This move has met by praise from many and criticism from others. On one hand, the return of industrial and technological giants of the pre-war would set America leaps and bounds over any other entity in the West. Likewise, detractors feared doing this would lead to the same predatory practices of the pre-war era, as well as emboldening current entities to continue their ethical practices. The President has assured that there will be several government and independent oversight commissions and panels to ensure that private entities are following safe and ethical practices, and then assurance they won't lead to what became of the NCR and pre-war America. Another announcement that garnered massive support from many of the smaller communities in America is that these corporations will be met with a wide volume of taxes meant to offset taxes for the lower class. Suffice to say, this last announcement was met with widespread public approval, and any who voiced objections were quickly silenced. Gotta love politicians. What could go wrong? Okay, so that's open for business done. Let's go stripping the vaults for a better living above ground. I have a decision here. Okay, so these are all. Okay, I'm just going to take one for now. Let's take MedTech. Yeah. And I want to send out some scavengers for power armor. Okay, that is wood treatment finished. I do believe I will have to do communications as well. But let me just carry on with my heavy machine guns, and just like the Air Force, tons of experience to spend. So let's do that. Oh. Okay, make way for the Royal Guard. These are the Canadians are trained. Queen today oversaw the passes and review of the newest line of Canadian Royal Guard, the baseline formations that make up the bulk of the Royal Army. Trained and equipped by the United States Military Assistance Command Canada, the Royal Guard continues the traditions of the old Victorian Royal Army. However, unlike the often corrupt and sometimes unreliable Patriot system put in place by Queen Victoria VI's grandfather, this system is mirrored off the defunct NCR Army, a more organized regimental system of meritocracy that saw the NCR become the dominant military in the region, though the latter half of the 21st and most of the 2200s. The Royal Guard's duties will be securing the frontier and fighting in battle to defend the Queen's sovereignty and right of dominion over the Canadian lands, and have the whole nation at their backs. Pro Partia. Engine overclocking is done as well. Now, I would decide I want to go for infantry fighting vehicle because it has a higher defense rating. So breakthrough is less, but I'm using tanks for breakthrough. I want to have a bit more defense and hardness. So first I'll go for Wasteland APC. Ooh, okay. Ride of the Royal Dragoons, establishment of the Royal Commanders. Okay, these are all very much the same as the Canadian Royal Guard I just read, so I'm not going to do that again. And that is that. The war is over. Whew, okay. So you know what? I'm taking everything. Mexico, Caesar's Legion, the Iron Alliance, and Senora, wherever you are. I'm not going to take the Navy now. I'm building quite a strong one myself. Submit my demands. Look at all that blue. Okay, confirm and exit. United States took 233 states. Okay, that is just something out of this world. Alright, now, just give me a moment and I need to do a bit of setup here. Okay, and I'm back. Okay, what I have done is set construction of a whole bunch of the civilian power grids, but mainly concerning here in the north, as I do think I'll be giving some land back to Mexico using decisions. Okay, so first of all, let me repair turbine at Hoover Dam. Then I'm going to do all of these installation management command decisions, getting all nice stuff for my bases there. Then we have another United American Brotherhood from what we did earlier, so Defenders of the Alamo. We'll do that. Okay, here we go. Despite breaking off from the Texan Brotherhood to continue the original mission, the Alamo chapter found itself in the crosshairs of Santa Anna in the twist of irony over 300 years in the making. Defending the Alamo against the despotic AI's robotic hordes, the Alamo chapter will be toasted and remembered for years to come for their bravery and determination against all odds. Remember the Alamo chapter. Ah, they all join the United States. Fantastic. And then, I believe it's this one, the lands of free Mexico. So I can read, this is what will give, just like I did with Canada, this will give the land back to the Mexicans. Okay, what other decisions do we have here? He who lives dies to tell your story. Where's that now? Oh yeah, I get to look. Ah. Okay. Get events, Fate of the Ghouls. Let's see what this does. Okay, more reading. The Fate of the Ghouls. The Ghouls were often treated as outsiders within New California and the rest of America. Some were treasured for their pre-war skills or pitied for their deformities. Others were feared due to the possibility of going feral. With the coming of the Enclave, their fate was grim. To protect the people of the wasteland, it was decided to quarantine from human population and ultimately to ensure no one had to risk the threat of feral ghouls. Okay, so it goes. The fate of Dornan. With America saved, Dornan resigned with honors and retired to the Strip, developing cocktails which use Nuka-Cola as a mixer. Dornan's bar, the Oil Rig, would become one of the hottest bars of New Vegas, though there were several HR complaints about his reaction if staff were caught out of uniform. That's something from earlier. Okay, the fate of Granite. Granite continued on as president for many years before finally stepping down. In part was his old age, while the rest was a decline in mental faculties due to years of service to his nation. For a full life of service to the American people, Granite was given the title of Hero of America before finally retiring to a modest abode north of Arcadia, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Does that mean he's no longer president anymore? Granite. Okay, maybe I took this focus too early. Okay, the fate of Ark and Gannon. Gannon's mother fled from Navarre after the fall of the Oil Rig, but Gannon returned to the Enclave when Granite was elected. He was one of many who put their hopes in the dream of a better world and ended up fleeing the New America and a secret police. Gannon would reach his end in the capital wasteland, aghast that the Enclave's tentacles had reached even there. American spring or nuclear winter. After the end of the Great War, freedom of speech vanished from most of America. Would-be despots crushed deserters in the name of security, progress, or just because they could. Under the Enclave, the First Amendment was restored and the voices, silent since the Great War, spoke out. Fueled by the dream of freedom and the economic boom that followed uniting the West, a new type of music arose, which the kids called New World Blues. It would be letting go of your first love because you've met your next. It's about letting go of the past because you've got to enjoy the present. And so it's so poppy that everyone's parents hated it. I think I took this focus too early. This sounds like something like when you end New Vegas, like the end cutscenes. But okay, let's carry on. Was democracy non-negotiable? House once said, if you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows. But House didn't address the fact that pre-war America was not a democracy. Granite's dream was to restore America at its best, and that meant the land of freedom. Resigning after a second term, Granite stayed silent during debates over the Brotherhood War, the Chinese Conference, and the drive against Robot St. Anna. These debates bring forth millions of voters across the reunited states, with simply democracy in action. Separate or equal? The Enclave once believed that wastelanders were mutants fit only for extermination, and even many reformers within the Enclave viewed the wastelanders as human second-class citizens. More than one centrist saw the wastelanders as human but inferior stock, who needed to be salvaged through genetic testing and other programs to save the American people. Under Granite, the people tried to live up to its founding ideals, that all men were created equal. Wastelanders, vault dwellers, and Enclave purists all lived together, continuing the American experiment. The fate of America. The Great War saw an end to the American of old, snuffed out in the blinding flash of nuclear bombs. Worse still, those who sought shelter in the vaults for safety were subjected to horrifying experiments at the hands of those who claimed to protect them. 200 years later, however, the government had returned to the mainland, and under the Enclave, America was reborn, the stars and stripes flying high over the land, and while still a far cry from the America of old, gave people hope. Where raiders, knights, and barons once tread, saw communities, families, and the first progress in centuries. America had come out of the Great War a little battered, but better than it had ever been. As the 2300s closed in, the future had never been brighter. God bless America. Okay, that seems to be the end. I do believe I took that decision too early. That's like an endgame focus, and I've still got quite a bit to do here. But okay, so I've talked about the construction I did, and I have now set up First Army to take on New Vegas, and after that I'll be taking out whoever wins here. So Second Army is starting a defensive line there to keep them hemmed in. And once I get the focus for claims on everyone, the ATs are gotta go. Okay, the lands of Free Mexico. Free Mexico has lodged a formal request for us to return Mexican lands to their administration. While there was nothing least of a shower of thanks and support for our assistance in the land of the Titans, it appears several within the Free Mexico is wanting to get on with rebuilding Mexico without having to constantly request permission from the US military administration in the region. Meanwhile, some members of Congress have questioned our latest military appropriations. There have also been rumors of unrest among the Mexican population who are starting to sour at the notion that they traded up patrols of Talco's robots and the flower wars for power armored soldados and leaders who don't always speak Spanish. Okay, options are here. No. Okay. Okay. I'm going with this one. Okay, this goes in, but I'm going to Free Mexico becomes owner controller of basically everyone, I think. Okay, wow. Okay, so that took a while for my PC to recognize. Here's Free Mexico now. United States of America. I have a decision here for the Mexican Reclamation, which is what? And we just did that. I'm not doing that again. I think it's probably going to repeat of what happened to this Canadian border where it just keeps on repeating. Okay, a new nightly order. So this is just, yeah, this is people I've trained up in Canada. So that's fine. Okay, better living above ground. The vaults were not designed to save anyone. They were designed for American eternity, to help America leave this world and surviving on desolate planets. Many vaults are failing after some 200 years, but there's still plenty of industrial gear that we can refurbish and maintain. But sometimes scientists have suggested we can always do more research. Okay, so we have knowledge is the greatest treasure, and okay, I'm short on resources, so I'm going to go with resource gain efficiency plus 10%. Okay, let us see. So stripping the vaults is done. All that didn't seem to change. All the decisions I did earlier didn't seem to change anything down there, so I've still got that to do, as well as this over here for a later date. For now, I want to continue with the last one, which is Bloomfield Space Center. Alright, MedTech. Hello folks, this is Miss New Vegas in a special guest appearance for Radiant Times. MedTech Labs has officially reopened its doors today and has begun production of a wide range of health and other medical products such as Mentect and Fixer. However, their new flagship products are stim packs, of which the patient was awarded to them for sale and distribution, but not exclusive rights after lobbying from several independent organizations. While true manufacturers of stim packs might have been in a company in North Carolina, no one is around to challenge that claim, and by the time of this article, several thousands have already been produced and sent to needy communities on the far reaches of American society. Questions on whether MedTech will produce the various combat drugs and stimulants that was also prevalent in today's society were declined, with the spokeswoman stating that MedTech is only interested in producing healthcare products and not trying to make a quick buck. That is the news, and now for my top selection of songs from across the wastes. You can feel yourself getting healthier. Okay, recycling is done. So I want to move on to, okay, I don't need more population. Free repair would be nice. What do we have over here? Population new. Well, that's even better, free repair. And I'm going to go with this one here. Okay, increase in core and cost doesn't matter to me, but the attack and defense in core territory would be very nice. The end of Legion guerrillas. With Legion's collapse, guerrilla raids on American forces come to an end. On to Chicago. Retaken Chicago, I think. Okay. A death clause in endangered species. With the revival of EPA, one of the more local debates is whether North America's latest apex predator, the death claw, is entitled to protection. Once a terrible threat, the development of weaponry has reduced its natural habitat, and some scientists estimate that it could one day become extinct. We could preserve this proud animal, a testament to nature's fortitude through adversity. On the other hand, farmers complain that death claws make off with their Brahmin and children. Okay. Death claw, like the bald eagle, symbolizes America. Wait, are you kidding me? Shoot them all. Okay. Don't need political power, but I would like some more support, so shoot them all. We remember America. In his darkest hour before his election, Granite asked, is there anything left, anything that still carries America's voice? The president's decision to save Flagstaff demonstrated his faith that, oh yes, I had prepared nukes. Okay, demonstrated his faith that the answer was yes. America didn't need nukes, it needed the slaves who deserted in the dark of the night, the followers who spread their teachings in the lands of the Midwest Brotherhood, and the Minutemen who held the line against the Institute. Granite was a flawed man. He had made many, many mistakes, but he turned the Enclave into a bridge between the old and the new world. He brought the United States together. Thanks to him, there would be men and women who wore his flag proudly at Hoover Dam, at the Second Alamo, and even in the Capitol Wasteland. Men and women who walked out of and into history a deeper than they knew. The men and women of America. God bless the Enclave. Okay, by Rocket's Red Glare. With the liberation of Bloomfield Space Center, we could use one of the pre-war shuttles to send someone into orbit and reactivate the Eagle Eye orbital platform. Sometimes scientists question whether a one-off propaganda event is worth doing, but this would let us reactivate the spy satellites the Enclave placed over America before the war. Let's send the courier. What goes up? President Douglas Grant, several hours ago, our astronaut spaceship crashed into the Pacific Ocean off of the Boneyard. Although he is fine, he said he didn't want to talk about what he found on the Eagle Eye, and all records seemed to have been wiped. The station itself crashed in Northern California a short while ago, but on the plus side, he did reactivate the other spy satellites. Wait, what did he find up there? Okay, that looks a lot like the crashed spaceship in Fallout 76. Okay, we get 15% more reconnaissance and event reaching for the stars, which is not going to happen now. Okay, so that's Bloomfield Space Center done. Now it is time to get my annex war goal against New Vegas. So, starting off with exchange robotic technology, and fuel injection is done. Now I could carry on to getting the jet engines, but I want to get, this is the only, all these are just various types of the fighters. This is the only recon one. This has got factories to burn. I want to get the recon plane. Whispers of hope. Due to our efforts to rebuild this once great country, every day there are more who believe in our American dream. Whispers of a new dawn are spread across the radio waves, in the bars and homes. Story of a president who could sway even his bitter enemies with words and his incorruptible soul. Ask not what your government could do for you. I need you for the U.S. Army. Well, with 248,000, I don't need manpower, so let me go for the political power and base stability instead. Okay, heavy machine guns are done. I'm going to continue on with the Scorpio. Again, using power, and I have what troops here? 5 tanks. They're all going to go to the 8th Corps. Okay, exchange robot technology is finished. Time to get my annex war goal against New Vegas. Okay, recon plane is done. That was nice and quick. So now I want to move on to jet engines. Let's start some recon plane production and just make it a nice 10. There, done. And now 4 troops. Okay, I need one more tank here. And you know what, I'm just going to make a brand new army here. Haven't shown how I've done this, so let me just show quickly how you promote one of your officers. So I'm going to go for one of my most experienced ones. I have been giving out decorations, I haven't shown that. I'm going to promote him. Now for some reason you can't select him straight here, but I'll just go there. And boom. I'll set up his name and all that while we're busy. And I'll add him onto this defensive line there. Okay, it seems all those military improvement decisions have come up. So we've got America's Mountain Fortress, which is Fort Carston along the Mississippi River. So boost to army attack and organization. U.S. Army Intelligence Training Center is finished, so it improves intelligence gained. Fort Bliss along the Rio Grande is done. Increase anti-air attack factor. The Tule Army Depot grants supply bonus and reduces supply use. Aurora Intelligence Armory, extension of Fort Carston's, more intel and recon, and another Army Depot. And Pueblo Depot. Okay, cool. Grants out of supply bonus and reduces supply. Little typo there. Reduces supply use. More Mexican protests. Okay, for whatever reason, Mexican people no longer welcome us as liberators. Soldiers, once greeted with flowers, are now greeted with curses, and some of our troops have complained their beer bottles were filled with another liquid. Okay. Meanwhile, some members of Congress have questioned our latest military appropriations. It seems like some deluded fools are unhappy with our support for Mexican reconstruction. We just saved you. Fine, free Mexico can have the lands. Okay, I'm not sure what land they're talking about. Let's zoom out and have a look. Okay, nothing seemed to have changed, and now we have Wasteland APC is done. So next, let me get vacuum sealing for more organization and start making these beauties. There we are. Okay, see, the house is finished, but I've noticed that I have no troops along this little border here, and that is because the majority of Second Army is still messing around down here in what is now Free Mexico. So I'm going to take 13th Corps from the border with the newly formed or increased TV town, put them there, just wait a few more days for them to move across before I launch my attack. So in the meantime, I'm going to can't do that one yet. That's 30 days. I'm going to get this one out the way, Masters of the Wasteland, just so I can get a claim on basically everybody. So we do that one first. Okay, we have a radioactive material leak confirmed. Our intelligence crew deployed to the structure's control room thankfully managed to power on the old Pure computers with the help of some portable fission devices, and have already engaged containment protocols. Power armor teams fitted with the heaviest radioactive protection are on their way to transport bots carrying equipment to plug any leak detected by the system, and we expect minimal downtime in our operations. I know what this is from. So now finally, where is it? This is development project complete, so I can start the next one. Seems you can only do one at a time. So I start the next one there. I have another unit of power armor, so they can go into second core here. It's finally filled up. And since these troops are now actually all in position, I'm going to go ahead with declaring war on New Vegas. Okay, it took a while to kick off. Let me just take everything out in Vegas. And New Vegas was annexed. And I have a decision here. Investigate rumors and restore Nellis Air Force Base. So let's restore Nellis Air Force Base. And let's see where we can find investigate rumors. Sure, let's do that. 180 days. And I've now set up all my units to take on TV Town. Okay, Masters of the Wasteland is done, but first, reaching for the stars. Mr. President, there's a Securitron outside our door, and it seems it's got Mr. House's picture on it. Not the cowboy, Mr. House himself. He seems he wants to speak about something important. It's in regard to the reinstated Space Administration. Okay. Let's go for this. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Off of the century. Mr. President, while I typically loathe working with governments of any kind, you have proven yourself beyond even my means. In just a few years, you have done what the NCR only dreamed of. The Legion failed to realize the brotherhood could never achieve, and more than I have in 200 years. For that, you have my respect. What I'm offering for you is a ground floor opportunity in the most important undertaking on Earth, to shake the bonds of this planet and spread out among the stars. What I thought would take 50 years, we can achieve in but a few months. In a few years, we could have a lunar colony. In a decade, a Martian colony. American convoy ships searching for new frontiers. You have Bloomfield, and I have Repcon Aerospace. What I'm offering America is a future among the stars. Okay. Okay, let's restart the Space Administration. It gives the same. Anyways. Space Mechanic. Fourth wall break here. This is just a test run of this whole space thing as I try to develop it further. At its core is a scavenger mechanic reverse engineered, but won't be adding anything aside a few events. It's more or less a fun little thing I ended up making to see what I could do. I want to expand on it, but for now it's a series of decisions and events all linked together. Nothing too fancy, I'll get there eventually. This seems to be a message from our dear developer. So enjoy it for now. I have a decision. Prepare Delta X rocket. Where are you, Delta X rocket? No. Nation building. I'm still at Voltic University. You know, I'm going to do it now. Voltic University. There. Spare Delta X rocket. $1,000 US. Yeah, I don't have that much, so that's going to have to wait. Okay, Delta X. It seems Mr. House has not been idle despite losing his rockets at Repcon. He's brought forth designs for the Delta X, an upgrade to our pre-war Delta 9 rocket / ICBM. The new model comes with a larger crew module, better engines and safety features, and a suite of electronics and systems that far outclass its predecessor. Further, it's all buildable quite easily using post-war industrial technologies, which Mr. House lacks, but we do not. We can begin production immediately. He came prepared, I see. Okay, well that's that. Masters of the Wasteland is done. So now, let me instead get ready to take on TV Town with a legacy of the DIA. Must stand for Defense Intelligence Agency or something like that. Okay, Scorpio turrets and my laser rifles are done. So first of all, okay, What is left there to do here? Let's get stealth boys for my few little special ops platoons. Won't spend the army research, I don't think. And then this needs to go for modules, so let me get the ballista. Okay, now let me change production. Okay, I know what the problem is here. Yes, it's got the ballistic listed as, there we are. Let's recommission those. Back up to the top. Okay, vacuum sealing is done. So next on the list will be, let me get the universal tank. And we have here, okay, let me repair the next turbine and send out some scavengers. Okay, legacy of the DIA. Pre-war, the Defense Intelligence Agency, okay, I was right, became the premier in the US security operations, from predicting the moves of the Chinese to establishing safe houses for operatives for after the war. The DIA even actually predicted the Great War, allowing the whatever it is of the enclave to retreat to safety to continue the American dream. Now, however, its legacy is in shambles, picked apart by vultures who do not know what they're standing on. One such example is here in Nevada, and Colonel Callahan is staking his entire life that what rests beneath the Red Mountain is more than worth it for the president and America. Okay. As long as it doesn't prevent another oil rig. Legacy of the DIA. Okay, what? Okay. The same effects I'm going to go for as long as it prevents another rig. And now that that's done, I'm going to Vegas Reborn. Let's change its name. And with my 100 divisions up against, what does TV Town have? An estimated 2-1. I like those odds in my favor. There's armored assault done, so let's get rapid motorized deployment. There we are, finally got it out. Okay, that seems to be TV Town defeated. So next on my hit list is actually going to be the 80s here, because they've been raiding me for far too long. Okay, so they'll take care. I want to get rid of Hornbrook as well. So let me justify on my claim state 25 days and whatever decisions available. When I have money, I get rid of it. I'll sort out all of those. Alright, jet engines are done. First, I'm going to get aerial refueling to get extra range on all my aircraft. Okay, that's advanced lockdown protocols finally done. Let's get the factory repair speed, free repair, and conversion speed. And Vegas has been reborn. So now I want to continue on with here, Red Mountain. See what lies beneath. Okay, my justification of max sec is finished at the same time as my ballista. So let me get the catapult. And let's take care of max sec. Okay, what lies beneath is done. The Rangers had no idea what they were sitting on, the massive fortified bunker and the wonders that were within. In their ignorance and with help from the sands of time, the facility has fallen into disrepair. However, the readings of power from the low levels mean something is still operating down there. Colonel Callahan is more sure than ever that what lies below is exactly what he's been looking for. Get to digging. Okay. Complete focus excavation can begin. So I can get the concise machine. Let's see what that AI is all about. And that's Maxic taken care of, and finally everything works in one go. So let me just wrap all these guys. Plan for an aggressive attack and take O'Brien. That's my stealth boys done. So let's get the top level carbine. That's air refueling done. So now let me work on yes, I need a jet fighter. So let me get jet fighter first. Oh, Duckland Air Force Base. This is some more development stuff done. Fort Sam Houston, same. Attrition rate goes down. And my universal tank is finished. So now let me get reinforced armor plates. Wasteland tank, now let's go, universal tank. Okay, the Conscious AI. Just before the outset of the Great War, the DIA created a predictive analytic machine, a sophisticated AI that was the pinnacle of analysis AI. However, Pam was lost in Boston. Hey, okay. And it's going to be a while before we can get back. Colonel Cullenhaver has been chasing his predecessor, the poorly named Mass Analysis Terminal. While it is not an AI, the basis of the design went on to inspire the Zax computer and Pam, which is what led to the device to be mothballed. The machine can perform hundreds of calculations a second, from battlefield data to encrypted radio broadcasts. Now it's back in the hands of the rightful American government and is ready to once again defend America. Okay, so we get civilian and army intelligence, whole bunch of intelligence, decrypted bonus. Nice. Okay, that is a good one. Now I want to do this probably next episode, so let me just finish off some of these last ones that I have here while the year is going on. Let's start off with starting at the top. Let's go for American Broadcasting Department. I have some more units. Whoop. 2 infantry, you can go there. Okay, catapult is finished. So now I do need communication, but first let me get my armor up. Okay, my justification against forwards is finished. I have a decision to repair the next turbine. And what do we have here? A lot of tanks. Perfect. Slot you in there. Okay. Goodbye, forwards. American Broadcasting Department is done. So what else is left up top here? Okay. Let's just go for entertaining. I can get my consumer good factories down by 5% and compliance up. Another decision to restart the movie industry. Where is that now? I'm going to start using my gex. Suppose I can do Robco as well. This can check nation building. Restart the movie industry. Okay. Alright, that is 4 ways taken care of. Nice and easy. You guys see when I'm busy planning here, taking out these small ones so that I can 30 days, okay. So I can have, I am planning on taking out the 80s and the Thunderbirds at once. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Rapid motorized deployment is done, but first, decisions available. Justify preemptive attack and recruitment draft. What is going on here? I'm okay with that. Recruitment draft. I definitely don't need more manpower. I can turn those two off. And let's go for the last of my Army Doctrine Coordinated Assault. And this, I might as well. Don't know what else I'm going to use the Army XP on. Okay, entertainment broadcasts are done. Let me move on to honor the First Amendment. I'm liking that. Jet fighters also done, so let me get my jet bomber and start production of the jet fighter. And I have a decision to send out scavengers again. And I don't know why I missed this earlier, but 80s is split in two. So that's going to be an interesting fight. Oh, Provisional Republic of Texas demands territory. How will we deal with this? Okay. And they've got 2 borders with me. Alright, new plan. Let me be smart about this first. Who are they allied to? Oh, that war with a whole bunch of people. And just an affection with the Unity of Austin. So that's over there. Okay, seems my conquest of the 80s and the Thunderbirds in this area here is not going to be happening very soon, because I'm going to have to tell Texas that they can go away. And hopefully my troops can get down south quick enough. Reinforced armor plates is done. So now let me get active protection system. Okay, remember the oil rig. Across the nation, flags are at half-mast today in honor of President Richardson and the brave men and women of the Enclave whose lives were taken a tragic terrorist attack on the United States government's redoubt or whatever on the Poseidon oil rig, a center of biological research and aid programs. The oil rig was cruelly destroyed by a terrorist who blew up its clean, efficient nuclear reactor. President Granite has decreed today Remembrance Day, a national holiday to mourn those among us whose lives were cruelly taken by raiders, vandals, and terrorists. This is Enclave Radio, promising that they are gone but not forgotten. That's a nice spin on things. Okay, cartridge filter is done. Don't really need any of these particularly. So I'm just going to carry on here. Brick housing. And I have another special forces, which I will start to set up here. Robco. The robots of Robco litter the waste and are often a hazard to many a scavenger and caravan guard alike, and sending shutdown codes from a recognized source could save lives. Many more in a state of disrepair and it could be a boon to scrappers and scavengers if there was a central system to repair and refit. That was the idea anyway with Bobco, a recognizable pre-war name that would not only be recognized, but it would also add legitimacy to our cause. Until Mr. House sent us a message claiming ownership of the brand, after a series of legal debates and stare-downs between Mr. House security trons and a US Army power armor, House relented his ownership. Well, they don't exist, so yeah. But maintains a role in the company as an advisor and monetary consultant. Alright, another pre-war mogul still alive. Okay, don't need robots, but that's cool. Alright, honor the First Amendment is completed. We'll have to handle that now. I don't believe... Okay, everything here is completed except for the last argument of precedence. Okay, I think for sins of our fathers, they ain't going to do much. Just cross it off the list. Route out manufacturing is done for the arm of my ships. Let me do the communication, or sorry, command module. And what do we have here? Decisions available. Restore. It's up top here. Okay, my justification against Bloody Springs is done. There is no end date, so I'm just going to keep it there until I know what is happening with the Republic of Texas. And speak of the devil, they have declared war on us, so you asked for this, not me. Let's teach these guys a lesson. Okay, the Boomers of Nellis Air Force Base, descended from Vault 34, the tribe that became the Boomers took relative care of Nellis Air Force Base. The times changed and the base is back in rightful American hands. Restoring the base was the easy part. Much of it having already been repaired from the tribe that lived there. Getting a server array back online proved more difficult, and there was a curious infestation of exploding ants beneath the base. That's awful at New Vegas, I remember that clearly. Though not without some close calls, the base is ready to receive increased aircraft activity and will once again be defending America's skies from threats abroad, even if abroad means in Arizona. Okay. Improves bombers. Good. Talking of that, let me just bring my strategic command and put him here. Okay, so that's that one done. What else do we have here? Americans, more sand. American scouts have turned up nothing more than nothing to this of southern Nevada, although some of our men have reported flickering lights in the sky at night, and this is the rumors I did earlier, and menacing figures in their dreams. The only thing they've found are pre-war tourist traps. This is starting to look like a waste of time. Perhaps we should have gone to New Vegas instead. Well, we did. Okay, get everything back. Fantastic. Okay, that's my carbine finished. So let me do virtual reality training. I'll bring my training time down. And I'll have to do this manually because it's probably been listed. Yep, thought so. There. Okay, sins of our father. Straddling the border between California and Mojave are two prosperous trading towns, Asheville and Hopeville. These small towns have boomed in recent years thanks to civilization's recovery and were already on our list to liberate to simply logistics if nothing else. But recently we've picked up some sort of signals from pre-war military bases in the region. Since the area was home to RCBM bases before the war, we should secure the towns and investigate. RCBMs, you say? We don't have to worry about them. I own all that already. So next, let's do some fighting down the south. Let's do this over here. Fix the broken coast, although they don't exist already. Brick housing is done. Let's move on to pre-war housing. Alright, so that is the provisional Republic of Texas done for. We'll see what happens when the peace conference comes up. Okay, active protection system is done, so let me move on to my blessed infantry fighting vehicles. Peace still hasn't kicked off yet. We'll have to see what happens with that. Oh, I'm still at war with someone. Who am I still at war with? Unity of Austin. Okay, fix the broken coast is done. Let me do the Texclave. Get that war goal sorted out. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. It says I'm at war, but my troops won't enter in, so I am justifying on them manually. And then I'll take out whatever else is list. String telephone is done. Back to the top and getting twin mounted machine guns. Jet bomber is finished, so let me now get advanced power systems. Pre-war housing's done. Home of the future. And I'm just going to manually sort out whatever the heck is going on here. And the Texclave is done. 30th November, I think. Let's do this and we'll end the episode with Fortress Sierra. That's calling an onslaught done, so that is all my army I can do. So let us carry on with the Navy. Okay. Fortress Sierra. I want to set the world on fire. One of our data archaeologists has frankly come forth with the most pleasing discovery, a pre-war correspondence from Fort Strong from the East Coast. Within it contains a schematic that plans for the M42 Fat Man and its corresponding ammo. We now have access to this pre-war treasure of a weapon that can be put into production immediately under the aircraft tab. Once sufficient number are built, we can arm them in decisions for use by commanders in battle plans or through spy missions. The Western will soon learn what it is like to face a real superpower. God bless Added Technology Mini Nuke. Brilliant. Well, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you all very much for watching. And in the next episode, I will plan on making this map a lot bluer. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.